Car culture is absolutely dying across the world. High sticker prices. The average price of a new car is around $48,000. It is absolutely insane. And with emission regulations going higher every year, forcing the lack of manual transmissions, the lack of performance models that we're typically used to seeing, the forcing of electrification in a lot of ways to meet said emissions requirements. It's not the best time in the world to be a car enthusiast, and it's getting worse and worse seemingly every year. So with that being said, I just got into motorcycling, well, back into motorcycling here in 2024. And I'm going to list all of the reasons why, if you're a car enthusiast and you can't afford to be a car enthusiast anymore, why you should become a two-wheeled motorcycle enthusiast, because it is just so much better and more affordable for the average person. So absolutely, cars are the answer for most people, right? You can carry other people with you. Well, some motorcycles can carry two people, right? But motorcycles can't carry all of your groceries. Well, maybe if you're just a single person, they can, but they're just not that practical unless you live in a really densely populated city, crazy traffic, or you live in a lesser income country where you need to have a motorcycle just because of necessity due to the lower prices. I know in Thailand, for example, just about every family is on a motorbike there, and they transfer their whole family on a vehicle of this size. I'm on a Honda Grom 125cc, and that is one of the more common engine displacements around the world. So this video is going to be mainly for the people in Western civilization, assuming you're not in like New York City, because even owning a motorized vehicle there doesn't make a lot of sense for a lot of people. So with that being said, this is going to really affect most car enthusiasts in the United States, Canada, and Western Europe, or even Eastern Europe for that matter. Forgot to mention, cars are also much better for extreme temperatures. Like, it's probably 70 degrees out right now here in South Florida. It's windy, but if it was raining, I'd rather be in a car. If it was snowing, I'd rather be in a car. So and if it was 100 degrees out, I'd rather be in a car with AC. So cars definitely are the more practical answer for most people. But this, again, like I said, for car enthusiasts, I promise you we'll get out of this intro portion here in a little bit and explain to you why motorcycles are now a much better option for car enthusiasts here in 2024. All right, and if it was a perfect world, everyone would have a 5-car garage and have a dream SUV, a truck, a coupe. You know, you have multiple cars, and then you would have tons of toys for motorcycles, ATVs, all that good stuff. But most of us in this life can really afford only just two vehicles at the most, and a car and a motorcycle is probably ideal for a lot of people. And when I say a car, you know, getting a coupe for most people doesn't make a lot of sense if you have a family. So if you can only afford one vehicle, the blanket case for most people is going to be definitely getting a car over a motorcycle. So it's a far more practical answer. But if you want to have fun and something that's not a penalty box like most cars out there, especially in the era of new cars where cost of new cars is $48,000, safety regulations have ballooned the weight of cars, so they're not as fun to drive anymore. Safety regulations have also required the cost of cars to go way up. The affordable enthusiast cars nowadays cost like $30,000 minimum. And the best enthusiast cars, if you want to have an experience like this in a car, now I guess the Miata is the closest thing, but outside of that, your option is going to be much more expensive. Also, with increased regulations, V8s are kind of on the way out, and that's been one of the most exciting things, at least in Western car culture for a long time, is the sound and the power and the torque of a V8. Everything's turbocharged nowadays. Everything is going the way of hybridization or EV. So with that being said, let's get into motorcycles and their place here in the mid-2020s and going forward into a more electrified future. If you're a car enthusiast, there's a gajillion reasons why you should also be a motorcycle enthusiast. I mentioned the price of new cars starting $30,000, but the average price is up to $48,000 now. And motorcycles, you can get used ones on Craigslist or OfferUp or the marketplace, however you want to find them, for way less money. I'm talking $2,000 for a decent, like you can get an SV650 for way less money than a new car. Like $3,000, you can probably get a 10-year-old SV650, and that's kind of like the do-it-all motorcycle for the streets. Now, on motorcycles, you can have your efficiency as well as performance and fun. This Grom gets over 100 miles per gallon. I actually haven't filled up my first tank yet. I'm about halfway through on my first tank, and I expect to get over 100 miles per gallon from here to the end of the time that I have this motorcycle. With gas prices being expensive, especially if you're in like California, having a motorcycle makes a lot of sense from that aspect. But even hogs like this coming at me, they're going to get you probably like 40 miles to the gallon, and you are still having more fun than you could have in any caged vehicle, essentially. That's a cute dog. A little bit ugly, but some of the ugly ones are cute too. Now, manuals are just as fun, if not more fun, on motorcycles. If you get stuck in a manual transmission in a car in traffic, it is the worst thing ever, because all you want to do is have that freedom to row through the gears, and that is so satisfying on a car as well as a motorcycle. On a motorcycle, traffic isn't as punishing. It doesn't require near as much work to work a manual transmission on a motorcycle as it does on a car. So with that being said, like, a manual flying through the gears on a Honda Grom is kind of one of the most fun experiences you can have on a manual, because I can fly through all the gears in the city traffic. So I'm already in fourth gear going 20 miles an hour. Like, it's absurd. And then downshifting is just super easy as well. So manual transmission, if you like it on cars, you're going to equally enjoy it, maybe enjoy it more here on a motorcycle. It's more fun, it's simpler in some ways, and it's far less work than 3 pedals in a car. Dual sports are kind of like the off-roading trucks and SUVs of the motorcycling world. You can have all the benefits of a motorcycle and an off-roading vehicle in one, and you can take them anywhere. You can take them on small paths that a truck couldn't take you. You can get in and out of places a lot easier with a dual sport. So dual sports are also a reason like every car enthusiast should be interested in motorcycling, just due to the freedom that they give you and then the fun that they give you while doing it. Now, in traffic like this, it's not heavy, but if you were in like California, for example, you probably want to be using a motorcycle for lane splitting. Now, it comes with its risks, but people expect it over there because it's legal and they are looking out for motorcycles. If you're lane splitting in Florida where it's illegal, it's much more dangerous. People are not going to be looking for you or expecting you. So lane splitting and lane filtering is a huge benefit for motorcyclists, and that can cut your commute in cities like LA by like half, sometimes less. So cannot recommend motorcycles more for lane splitting, as long as you're aware of the risks. Also, motorcycles now, compared to the past, they've been behind in technology. And as I'm a big fan of Japanese cars and Japanese bikes, Japanese culture, they're kind of behind on a lot of stuff. Technology would be one of them, and implementing safety technology, but that's not really the case anymore. They've caught up with traction control, ABS cornering, wheelie control, as well as radar cruise control in some bikes too. I think the Kawasaki H2, for example, has that sort of technology. Another benefit is less expensive insurance by a ton compared to a car. That's a nice Rolls over there, Rolls convertible. And yeah, could you imagine the insurance on a Rolls Royce? This Honda Grom, I have it completely maxed out in every category here in Florida, for about $500 a year. Now, you might be saying, Kirk, that's a ton, but This is a business expense for me, and I have a family, and I want to make sure I'm completely maxed out with coverage. So I got the most expensive coverage, and even then, it is $500 a year, and I get to ride year round, where most of you guys only get to ride a portion of the year. Now, with cars getting more expensive too to modify and to purchase, obviously, you can get all your tinkering done that you like to do on a tuner car done on a motorcycle, and you can do it yourself. It's so easy. You just need like a ratchet set, some screwdrivers, and parts are way cheaper on motorcycles than they are in cars, and they're so much easier to do. They're so much easier to follow. You don't need heavy jacks or hoists to lift up a car. You can get cheap, I can't even think of the word for it, but the levers that lift up the rear of your bike and the front of the bike, those are so cheap to get. I haven't got them yet. That's probably why I can't even figure out the name. I haven't needed to do any maintenance on this bike since I just got it. It's still essentially brand new. I think I have like 400 miles on it now. Yeah, it's just so much easier to tool around on, work on, and upgrade your motorcycle compared to an automobile. You can send your ECU in, or just order an ECU to all your upgraded parts as well, and we'll do it for you for a few $100 so you can maximize the performance and make sure your bike is running with the right fueling with all your upgraded parts. There's fifth gear. It's just freaking awesome. It's so much fun. Just fly through the gears on a Honda Grom, and you like literally cannot get past the point of like getting a speeding ticket or anything, because it tops off like in normal situations around 45 miles an hour. So, and you're in fifth gear at that point. It's just brilliant, bloody brilliant. Another benefit for car enthusiasts is that you can park wherever you want, and typically you can park right at the front. Car enthusiasts as well as motorcycle enthusiasts love talking about their toys, and if you can get parking straight to the front of wherever you are, you can essentially, like in something like a Grom, you can just park on the sidewalk anywhere. No one's gonna care. It's essentially a tiny scooter. Is this guy carrying a pillow? What is he doing? Oh, it's a bag. Gosh, if you're carrying stuff, scooters are way better for that situation as well. So, all right, with the motorcycle, miles per mile are better than any other vehicle, well, at least compared to cars. This also miles per dollar. Now, I have got similar miles per mile and things like an Elantra N and you know, some of the higher performance cars that I've had on the channel, but honestly, for the price of a cheap motorcycle like a Honda Grom, for example, I don't know why I'm going in here because it doesn't go through. So I'm just going to stop and turn around, and that's something, maneuvering a motorcycle, you wouldn't be able to do this in a car, right? And what are these guys? These guys are on an e-bike. Oh, there's some kids. Kids are on an e-bike, no helmets. All right, here's my turn. Here's my turn. That beautiful downshifting life just never gets old. The Honda Grom has a nice gear indicator too. This one is a bit of a stretch, but I'm going to tell you why it's better than cars. I look forward to riding my bike. Now, I get press cars 2 a week. I look forward to driving some of them, but it's 4 wheels, and I kind of like, I don't get that excited over any press car at this point. There are exceptions, but for the most part, press cars, yeah, brand new cars are freaking awesome, but they can't hold a candle to the excitement I have when I look forward to getting on my motorcycle. Getting on a bike, it's just, or looking forward to getting on a bike, it's just so much of a different experience. It's more like looking forward to a roller coaster. You know you're gonna have a hell of a time, and it's just begging you to get on it. God, just that never gets old either, just flying through the gears. It's like the MX-5 Miata. You can fly through the gears in town and not, you know, break the speed limit most of the time. That's the same thing on a low displacement motorcycle. It's just a hoot, a freaking hoot of a time. Also, there's something about motorcycling that it's kind of a mental and physical workout. You have to focus a lot more on a motorcycle than you do in a car. I'm not saying you can space out in a car, but I feel like the intelligence needed to drive a car is minuscule compared to being hyper aware on a motorcycle. And having that hyper awareness makes you just feel like you're 100% living all the time when you're on two wheels. And when you get off the bike, you, like, my wife has noticed it when I'm gonna go this way. When you get off of a bike, you have insane endorphins going, like you just did a workout. It's hard to explain, but you get this kind of physical and mental workout when you're on a motorcycle that you just don't get driving even a performance car on the street. Because a performance car on the street, you can't come close to maximizing its potential. Cars are so fast and they're huge, and you can't, I don't know, you just can't move around the same on a car. All right, Tesla. Oh, see, saw me. My shortcut wasn't any faster, but at least I could have taken that turn quick, but I'm back behind the massive Yukon here. Buzz's Lighthouse, if you guys are ever in Naples, it's an awesome place to go. It's right there on the bay. It's a nice place to be. Not sponsored by them, but always recommend you guys come down to Southwest Florida due to the beauty. And I try to convey that as much as I can. I don't drive too far on my vlogs. I kind of stay close to home, but there's still plenty of beauty just right in my own backyard here. Anyways, back on topic. I get to appreciate this beauty so much more on a motorcycle than I do in a car. The only car that can come close is a drop top convertible, because convertibles, you drop the top, you can kind of see the trees, you can see the sky, you can see the sun. But in a car, even in a convertible, you still have A-pillars and also the cross beam above the windshield. That takes away some of your visibility. And like the RF Miata hardtop, there's also like really bad blind spots. There are no blind spots here. I can look around at that Jeep behind me. It's no big deal. I can see much better visibility, and because I have much better visibility, I feel like I can control my device a lot better. Like just getting over here, I can see what's going on. Okay, that guy's slowing down up there, and so I can have a better reaction to actually what's going on. But yeah, even being stuck behind slow, huge Suburbans like this, it's still more fun to be in a motorcycle, I feel like, than it is on in a car being stuck behind a big piece of metal. Speaking of big pieces of metal, the carbon footprint, if you guys care about the environment, I mean, motorcycles are so much better for the environment than a car. If you're just driving around, it's just you and you're not picking up groceries or kids or other people, you don't need to be in a huge Suburban or Escalade, because literally it was Escalade, Suburban, Yukon Extended, and there's a huge Jeep behind me, and it's probably just a couple people in there, you know, and most Jeepers never go off-road. Yeah, like if you care about the environment, motorcycles have such a little impact on the environment compared to a huge V8 hearse of a vehicle. They're absolutely massive. Oh, that's one downfall of being on a light motorcycle is that wind actually pushed me over a little bit. But it's easy to correct a Grom, in my opinion. And there's the ocean. Maybe you guys saw it, maybe not. It's not the best beach day. It was really sunny this morning, and now it's all clouded over and windy, and the temperatures have dropped. It's an El Nino year everywhere. That's why the winter has been so weird in other parts of the country too. But it's been a cold, rainy winter for us in Florida, but I can't complain. It's about 50 degrees in the morning, and it gets about 75, 80 degrees during the day, which is it's really hard to beat. I just wish we had the sun out a little bit more instead of pretty much cloudy this whole winter. I like that BMW, so I waved at him. He clapped at me with that exhaust a bit. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah, it's even more fun to go uphill on a slow motorcycle because you kind of have to like work the gearing a little bit better. Anyways, I don't know if that's true for everyone, but so what do you think about my bullet points, my assessments, my opinions on why car enthusiasts should be getting a motorcycle here in 2024? It's so much more affordable. Insurance, gas, entry price is a joke compared to buying a new car and even a used car, because the used car market is just so insane right now. It is really, really crazy how expensive used cars are. My 10-year-old Prius keeps going up in price, and no, actually it's 12 years old now. Riddle me that one. But yeah, I mean, if this was California, I would just sneak around the side here because I know no one's coming. No one's coming. Here we go. But yeah, if you're a car enthusiast, you don't have to be just a car enthusiast. It's okay to love anything that moves. I think most people who are car enthusiasts just enjoy mechanics. They enjoy motion. They enjoy the freedom that these vehicles, whether it's 4 wheels, 2 wheels, 3 wheels, whatever it is, even people on bicycles, we're all a part of the same enjoyment. People like to move, and I don't care if it's a freaking push scooter or like a Raptor or something. Like, there's a lot of similarities there. We all enjoy movement, and if you can enjoy new levels of movement for less money on a motorcycle, then I recommend it as much as possible than saving up for a new car. Just go buy an old car. You're not going to have that much fun, and even a modern day tuner car compared to having something simple like a Honda Gram to just tool around on. I can get more fun out of this than I can out of most high performance cars I review on the channel. It's absurd to say, but it's absolutely true. So I'll see you guys battle it out down below if you agree or disagree with my opinions and assessments on how motorcycles should be a consideration for car enthusiasts as well. Thank you guys for watching and signing out from the little Honda Gram. And if you have been listening, I put on it's called a Works intake. It's kind of like this Ram Air scoop, and I just changed the air filter to a K&N air filter, and it made the bike a million times better. I'll have to make another video on that and maybe the other modifications I've done on this bike, but it took 10 minutes to modify it, and now the bike actually sounds like a thumper, and other people can hear it now for like just a few dollars of investment and a few minutes of my time. So all right, guys, well, signing out. Thank you. I'll catch you in the next one. Make sure you subscribe for more moto vlogs. Feel free to type out below any topics you want to see regarding motorcycles, and if you want me to get a specific type of motorcycle or put my opinion on a certain type, make or model of motorcycle, let me know down below, because I have plenty of opinions to share. So thanks, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. And that's something, right? You can't see buzzards that well on a car. All right, guys, catch you in the next one. Peace.